Well, happy Friday, everyone, and happy feast day of St. Philip Neri. Today in our gospel, we hear of the scene of Jesus with Peter on the shore of the Sea of Galilee after the resurrection. And Jesus is asking Peter, Peter, do you love me? 3 times over again. And this is where Peter has to affirm his love for Jesus 3 times over again as well. He says, Yes, Lord, you know that I love you. And Jesus answers, Feed my sheep. Feed my lambs, feed my sheep. When I was blessed to go to the Holy Land in my time in seminary, the place where this was thought to have happened, they called it the primacy of Peter. There's this tiny church there, and then there's some shoreline on the Sea of Galilee. This was a really powerful place to be, because for me, getting ready to be ordained a priest, I was like, this is where Jesus is asking me to really lay down my life in this way. That if I really love him, then that love is shown forth in the service that I do for his people, for his sheep. And so I oftentimes reflect on going back there and thinking, yes, Lord, I love you. Help me to love as you've called me to love in my ministry. Today, the saint that we celebrate, St. Philip Neri, was one who loved greatly in his ministry and was filled with great joy. He's actually known as the patron saint or the apostle of joy. And so if you need joy, you can pray for the intercession of St. Philip Neri. He was a priest living in Rome during the 1500s, and he was known to have some great supernatural spiritual gifts. It was said that the Holy Spirit descended into him once on the eve of Pentecost. It's pretty great that we're celebrating his feast day right very close to the Feast of Pentecost. But it was on the eve of Pentecost, and it was like a great ball of fire descended from heaven, and it went into his mouth and into his stomach. And actually, it said that he broke a couple of ribs, and his heart grew at that moment, just like the Grinch's heart grew 3 sizes. And it was actually confirmed in his autopsy that his heart actually grew inside of him. But he ministered with great joy, going to visit people one by one, bringing God's Holy Spirit to them and helping them to know his healing love. So through Philip Neri, many miracles were performed. And he, through the Holy Spirit working through Neri, the city of Rome was transformed. That's what I think Spirit-led, joyful ministry should look like for all of us. It might not look exactly the same as Philip Neri, but that we go forth in joy, doing everything for the glory of God. Jesus asks each and every one of you, do you love me? And when we say yes, that means we're saying yes to loving his people as well. Ask the Lord today how it is he wants you to love better, how he wants you to lay down your life in service better for those in your life, so that you might love him to the full, that you might be truly his apostle, and that you might serve always in joy.